Give a lot of sparks to it. Fun car to drive.
What does it feel like driving this beautiful car?
Oh, lots of power. It has a lot of power to it. It makes you feel good. That's how a car's supposed to do. It makes you feel good. I don't want to step on it. You gotta be careful not to upset the public. But it's sweet. This car that I drive right now, it's a 1964 car. And for the age of what it is, it drives pretty good. Like, to be 60 years old and what it has, yeah. It's a nice car to drive for 60-year-old. And we have not done much. This is basically like an original car. This is not something that we took apart and put back together. All we did is service it up, went through everything, make sure everything was there. But it's all its own stuff. It's not, right. Like, since we're driving it now, we're finding out that maybe it's time for the clutch to be changed. And a lot of this stuff, it got to do with being sitting so long. The only thing I could tell somebody that have old cars is drive them, enjoy them, because the more you drive a car, to me, the better a car is, and the more you enjoy the car. Then I know people like to look at them, but the fun thing for me is that you drive in that car. Because for a 60-year-old car, it got a lot of spunk in it, and it moves great. The Mercedes SSK was a 1928 Mercedes.
Right.
That's the model that he take to the ideas from that. Cause he loved that car, that he ended up coming up with this design.
Inspired by Mercedes
Yes.
SSK.
Yeah, and that's why it's a SS model, because it's a Excalibur SS. And that's how he ended up getting that from that. And that's how that comes about. So then he had the idea in 1953 over in the UK. I don't know specifically where, but in the UK. And then later on, Stomberg comes to him because he was working for them. And they asked him to come up with a new idea of a car, and that's how he ended up take the idea from what he liked from the Mercedes, and he come up with this. And it was just we call it a concept now, but back then it was just end up being supposed to be a concept car that they was gonna debut at the show. But when the day of the show, he get ready to take the car to the show, Starnberg call him and tell him, forget about it, because it's not a car they're going to manufacture, so they can't feature a car that they're not going to manufacture. So he called the management for the producer of the show, and asked him what he wanted to do, and the producer told him, just bring it, we're going to find a spot for it. When they took it, everybody loved it. But Starmer didn't jump on it, and this is why he had to go on his own, and this is why he ended up being in Milwaukee, that he start building them in Milwaukee as he went off on his own. And he, with his two sons, they start making them, because he had like over 10 orders right away from the show that people wanted it, but Starnberg didn't want to build it, so he went off on his own, and he used a chassis from the Starnberg, and I forgot the name of the class of cars that he took it from. And then he went to General Motors because he didn't have an engine, and that's the 327 that's in that car that he started off with. And as time goes by, every few years that he come out with a new edition of the car, he put a different motor in it. Because one has a 350, the newer one has a 350. I think one of them had a 454. So it all based on him trying to build up his brand. Well, the engine is a 327 motor that he had in it. Yeah, V8, and the transmission is a 4-speed transmission. So that's what he started off with, because that's what was available to him at the time. And then later on, when he come with the 4-seater, then he went into a 350 motor. And then later on, I think in the limousine, they built only 13 limousine of this, and it has the 454 motor in it. So in the whole world, there's only, and they feature in some movies, a lot of older movies, it has those, people don't realize that it's an Excalibur, but yeah, it's I like the design of the car. It's a nice, roadster, like street car, like you could burn up tires and be cool at the same time, in a sense. Just the whole road thing. I like that it's open.
Yeah.
And you feel connected to, like, you look around and it's like the road is right there. You could see your wheels spinning, like all of it. It's not just like inside. It's like, that's a good thing about a roadster. It's all opened up, that you could look there in the road, and you look back and you see the wheel is spinning, and
you feel all these vibrations.
Yeah,
the sound of the engine.
Exactly, the whole exhaust.
You don't even need the audio.
Oh shit! The audio is the engine itself. It's the song of that motor, and you touch the gas and you hear the RPM, and that's the best music though. It's just the song of the car talking to you, the car vibing. Like, I don't know. For me, those are the things that makes the car a car. If you could vibe with the car and feel the power of the car. So for me, I like that feel with the Roadster, and like I said, the song alone, it's a 327, and with the way they had the exhaust, how it comes out, it's just, I think the guy had a good idea right there. I think it's a time capsule, and it's with what at the time they got, you could build anything, but it's the ones that stand out that really makes. And the Excalibur, it's not a common car, so it's a nice
history.
Yeah, it's a great history to realize, and that's the thing. A lot of people see cars, but they don't know history of how those cars and the feel. I like the feel of a car. I like the drive of a car. That's what fun. It's driving a car. I feel that shifting gears, and
Yeah.
it makes the car. So, it's just about having fun with it.